Valley Club, it was so hard to get epic characters and legendary characters on my very first Raid Shadow Legends account all those years ago, but things have changed. Easier to get legendaries, easier to get epic characters. You could actually get some for free. So with that said, you might be thinking, I'm just gonna get epics, legendaries, build those up, and screw any legendaries you're gonna get. Well, that could be a bad decision. There are some rare characters that you do want to build, and in this video, I'm going to talk about my top 5 rare characters in Raid Shadow Legends that you do not want to use for food. If you get some of these, at least put them in your vault, and if you're ready to see which are the top 5, you know to the Valley Club, find that like button, and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin Raid channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope your account progress is going well in Raid Shadow Legends. We are grinding away, slowly building up our clan boss teams, slowly building up arena teams, slowly climbing up in dungeons, and I hope you're having a great time doing the same. If you get some value from this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new Raid Shadow Legends video goes up, and at least 6 pieces of Raid Shadow Legends content every single week on this channel. But in this video, we are talking about the best rare characters in Raid Shadow Legends. But let's jump into the game. I'm actually on one of my alt accounts, Valley Raid 3. Created 3 new accounts for this referral program, and for a main account, once we had these 3 accounts each reach level 10, we got free epic champion in Jamarsa, and we got a few other things. We are working our way towards level 50. Once we get to level 50 on all 3 of these accounts, we're going to get some sacred shards, and then we could create 3 brand new accounts, so 6 accounts total. Once we get those 3 new accounts to level 40 though, we're going to get some shards for Chronum, very good legendary HP burn AoE champion. So 2 champions for free. If you do want to do something like I'm doing right now to get some self-referrals, get a free legendary, get a free epic champion, follow the video that I did a couple weeks back on what I did to create this account. It is a pretty lengthy process to create the accounts, but once you do that, it is a pretty easy thing to level these accounts. But let's get into the game and talk about why you want to build some rare champions instead of just building up your epics or your legendaries. So on this account, we actually use a starter code Supreme Gaelic. We got Supreme Gaelic right on day 1. And if you want to get some epics or legendaries right off the bat, make sure you use my download link in the description to download a fresh new copy of Raid. You do that, you will get 4 epic champions for free. Day 1, right after you're done with tutorial, you're gonna get Uugo, great epic support champion. Then at level 25, which I also reach on day 1, you're gonna get Tagoar, one of the best epic revivers in the game. Level 45, you're gonna get a great damage dealer for the clan boss, which is one of the most important things you need to build for as a new player. You're gonna get Fayne at level 45, and at level 50, Mausoleum Mage. You're gonna get all of those champs for free, and you also could get a legendary as well. You choose from one of 5 legendaries right now. These are the codes that are active as of me recording this video. You get Aerys, you get Loki, you get Tuhanarak, which is a great legendary support champion. That would be my recommendation, Tuhanarak or Sun Wukong with the code Monkey King. You also have Green War Rurak, but Sun Wukong and Tuhanarak would be my choices for you if you are starting a new account and need a legendary. Both great ones. It just depends what you want in the game. But let's get back to this alt account that I have and talk about why you want to build these rare champions. So like I said, had the Supreme Gaelic. He is a great HP burner, and he's great for clearing waves in your campaigns. Now, I did build him up a little bit, but if we look at his skills here, we only have one of his skills with some books in here. Just through some grinding and some events, we did get some legendary skill tomes for this champion, but it is much easier to get rare skill tomes. With rare champions, it's much easier to get duplicates like Frozen Banshee, one of the best rare champions of the game. Although I don't have her on my main account, so I don't have a lot of first-hand use of Frozen Banshee. She is a great one. She's not on this list right now though, but is a great champion there, but much easier to get books or duplicates for these. You could use books. Rare books are much easier to get than epic books, and epic books are much easier to get than legendary books. So if you want to start to build up skills, it's gonna be much easier with these rare champions. Also, when you start to ascend these champions, add more stars or turn these gold stars to purple stars. It's going to be much easier to get these ascension materials, some of these potions, a lot easier, a lot lower level potions when you're dealing with rare characters. The amount of work to gear a rare champion is pretty much the same amount of work to get a legendary champion. Same thing with the masteries. You could just spend the gems or you could grind them up. It is going to be the same. But yeah, the difference in your rare versus epic or legendaries is the skill tomes and the ascension, the potions that you need to ascend these characters. Let's move to the first character on this list, and it is Renegade. Very, very good rare Void champion, and she is from a Void shard, so might be a little harder to obtain this character in the beginning, but if you're opening enough Void shards eventually, because she's a rare champion, you eventually should get Renegade. And Renegade is strong in a lot of dungeons: Spider dungeons, Fire Knight dungeon, the Dragon dungeon, the Ice Golem, and also the Shogun Grove as well. So good in a lot of areas. I think a lot of her value comes from this A3 right here. Sacrificial Ritual decreases the cooldown of all ally skills by 2 turns. It is a 5-turn cooldown when it's fully booked, 7 without the books. The skill does not affect this champion or any other champions with this skill. The champion will receive damage equal to 30% of their max HP. This will even happen if it kills this champion. And the way this skill reads, it seems that if you have double Renegades, she won't increase the skills for the additional Renegade. That is not the case for the champion we're going to mention next, but this is where her value comes from. Kind of a support champion, helping to reduce the cooldowns of your main damage dealers, of some of your main champs in here. And this gives her viability even at the end game. When you have much better nukers, much better other support champions, this kind of skill that decreases the cooldowns of the other skills from your allies, very, very strong. A2 attacks at random 3 times, 75% chance when it's fully booked of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, that's a small one, and a 25% chance, up to 50% chance when it's fully booked, decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns if the target has any active buffs. And the A1 attacks one enemy, 25% chance of placing 100% heal reduction debuff for 1 turn. That goes with the 50% chance when this skill is fully booked. The passive increases the resistance in all battles by 40. And you generally, because of this skill, you want Renegade going slowest on your team, just so this skill, this A3, has the ability to reset a lot of the cooldowns of your more valuable, faster champs. So Renegade on my list comes at number 5. Now the next champ is a free champ, a lot easier to obtain than Renegade. And we got this champion with a promo code. The promo code we use is welcome gift, all one word. And when we entered that, we got Bellaware, a Void champ, a free Void champ. So let's go take a look at Bellaware. The code is still active here. And when we look at Bellaware, the skills for Bellaware, where's he? Let's actually go to the index. I think it's a little easier to find Bellaware in the index. Member of the Origin Tribes, and is a great support champion. And the great thing about Bellaware, every one of his skills is an AoE attack. Attacks all enemies, 20% chance of placing a blocked active skills debuff for 1 turn. It is a small version. You can get that to the big version if you use a blessing on him. The A2, another AoE attack, 50% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. That is a small one, but again, with that blessing, you can get that up to the big 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on attack. We also have another AoE attack, A3, attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns as well. This damage is based on attack, and the aura will increase ally speed in all faction crypts by 15%. So you're getting AoE, AoE, AoE. You're blocking any buffs that they could have. You are decreasing their speed, you're decreasing attack, and decreasing their defense. All super important buffs, especially at the early game. But let's go back to the main roster screen so we can take a look at Bellor. Here he is. And let's take a look at the blessing that makes him such a beast. This is where the blessing is, and it is the Harmony for Nature's Bounty. Whenever this champ applies a 2.5 poison debuff, 25% decreased attack debuff, 30% decreased defense debuff, a 15% decreased speed debuff, 25% decreased accuracy debuff, 50% heal reduction debuff, 15% weaken debuff, a fear debuff, a 15% crit damage debuff, 15% decreased crit rate debuff, or a 25% decreased resistance debuff, has a chance to play the greater version of this debuff. For example, 50% decreased resistance buff debuff instead of a 25% decreased resistance debuff. So the bigger version of all the skills that Bellaware applies, if you have this blessing on Bellaware, you'll apply the big version of this. Now, If you have 1 star for the blessing, 15% chance to place the greater version of the debuff. So not a huge chance. 30% when you have a 3-star, but if you have a 6-star Bellaware, 6 red star Bellaware, 60% chance to place a greater version of this debuff. Also gives them some speed as well. So the more stars you can get for Bellaware, the better this is gonna be, and the better his skills are gonna be, because yeah, it's gonna be AU attacks and the big version of all his skills. Plus, if you place something like a stun set on him, he's gonna do that against all the enemies. You have a chance to place stun on him. So definitely want to have a lot of accuracy on Bellor, and probably want him going pretty fast as well for most stages. Great for clearing campaigns and a lot of the other dungeons in the game as well. All right, another free champ is our 3rd champ on this list. You could farm this champ from the Palace of Aravia, and that is Aerys. Great rare champ, great free rare champ, which means that if you continue farming, you could fully book up this champ without using any rare skill tomes, just using duplicate copies of Aerys. Great champ here. And it starts with the A2, removes a random debuff from all allies, has a 60% chance of placing a big 30% increased speed debuff when you have it fully ascended on all allies for 2 turns. So removing the debuff is great, especially if you're using her in the area she specializes in, the clan boss. Yeah, removing the speed debuff or the stun debuff that the clan boss is going to apply to you. Also, this passive rate counterattacks the attacker when any ally is attacked, and if you put a toxic set on her, she will apply poison to the attacker. Need enough accuracy to make sure that that poison sticks. But yeah, very strong with this counterattack as well. And if you did manage to pull a Demitha very early on, Aerys is a character that pairs very well with her. We pulled her a few times on our main account, and we are still working on building up our Aerys. Very good champ. Specifically for the clan boss. Doesn't really stand out in any areas outside of the clan boss. So if you already have a great clan boss team, you may not need Aerys, but if you don't, it's a free rare champion that you can build up. Now, you might also want to use her in some of these rare rooms. A lot of these rare champions you could also use in some of these rare rooms in a Doom Tower as well. So keep all that in mind. But yeah, another free champion that you get, one of the best ones out there. All right, this next champ is a very good champ, and we just managed to pull her last week on our main account. Is a Void champ, so you do need to pull her from Void Shards, but if you do manage to get lucky with a Man-Eater, one of the epic champions, you could form that budget unkillable team for the clan boss. If you get the speed for Painkeeper and Man-Eater correct, very strong, and just allow you to build up your damage dealers. It makes it a lot simpler. You can with this team, you could get the final chest for both the Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare difficulties of the clan boss. And a lot of this starts with this 1 to A3, decrease cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn. This goes to a 4-turn cooldown when she is fully booked. And that is why, when combined with Man-Eater and his unkillable buff that he could apply, if you could reduce the cooldowns of that and have him apply that a lot more, well, this is a great champion to build up. Now, the way this reads, decrease the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn. If you have duplicate Painkeepers, well, this one Painkeeper can reduce the cooldowns of the other Painkeeper's skills. So this is a great champion, especially if you have multiple Painkeepers. This is definitely not a champ that you want to food. You have 2, 3 Painkeepers. You can make a lot of content very easy. And if you do get 3 copies of Painkeeper, you can make an unkillable team for the Iron Twinge Fortress as well with 3 copies of her. So just a great champion because of this move here. The A2 does attack all enemies, heals allies for the max of this champion's HP, and the A1 attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Builds her turn meter by 10%, but yeah, you're really bringing her in to decrease the cooldowns of your other ally skills. So like a different version of Renegade, it only reduces the cooldowns by 1 skill, but because you're doing this a lot faster, and you could have Painkeeper reduce the cooldowns of other Painkeepers, duplicate Painkeepers, I think she's a little better than Renegade. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna stick in the same Dark Elves faction and go with Coldheart. Unfortunately, she is a Void champion, so a lot of the best rare champions you do need to pull from Void Shards. There are a few that are totally free right now, though. And Coldheart, one of the best, if not the best, rare champion in the game, in my opinion. And the reason for that is the huge damage that she could output with this A3 Heartseeker. Attacks 1 enemy, decreases the target's turn meter by 100%. So you do need to build it with a lot of accuracy so she can actually reduce the turn meter of bosses. It has an extra 30% chance of increasing critical hit. Damage increases according to enemy max HP, which means the stronger the boss is, the more damage you're gonna do. So very, very strong. Goes to a 4-turn cooldown when you have her fully booked. The rest of these moves aren't as great, but really this Heartseeker, strong move, allows her to do a huge damage in a bunch of different areas. Spider, Dark Fae, Iron Twins, Fire Knight, pretty much any area that you need a big enemy max HP attack, Coldheart is gonna be your champ. Scarab King also works very good. The Shogun Grove. There's a lot of areas that you could use Coldheart. Just build her up big enough and the damage will continue to stack, especially if you use her in conjunction with other characters like Painkeeper or Renegade. You could just have this A3 going off over and over again if you time everything right and have their speeds all lined up correctly. So those Valley Club, at least right now, I think are the top 5 rare champions in the game. Do want to mention a couple others like Apothecary. Great champ, increases turn meter, does some healing. But at least for me, once I got Haika tuned from that login bonus, I didn't really use Apothecary too much anymore. Kale was my starter champion. Great starter champion, got me through a lot of the early campaigns, but once I fully built up my Sun Wukong, he became my campaign farmer and had not a lot of use for Kale anymore. But they're all great champions there. Hopefully you did get some value from this video, and if you did, leave the video a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and of course, if you download a brand new copy of Raid, make sure you use my link so you get 4 epic champions for free, and then enter one of those codes so you get a free legendary right off the bat. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Hulk Fist Bum ValleyFlyin out.